All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Now I want to get into this real quick. At camp there was a guy that walked up. He was all basic instructions before leaving Earth, so that means there's more. You know what I mean? All this bullshit he was talking, I'm like, look, you may have got, wherever he got that from, Killer Priest or whoever. He said he heard it from a pastor or something like that. But, so, when he was saying basic instructions before leaving Earth, when you go into, let me get it up real quick. When you go into modern day sense of saying the word basic, as you see here, the meaning befitting an inferior person or thing. 1600s were worthless in contrast to noble or precious metals, right? So basically that's his sense of knowing, saying that there's more instructions, but these are the fundamental. Okay, let's get into that real quick because it goes right here. Oh yeah, the starting point of something. Base, which comes from basic. Well, basic, the root word there is base, okay? So like I said, today's standards of the word basic, worthless, you know what I mean? We read let me just get it back again. The meaning befitting an inferior person or thing, okay? So you're basically saying there's more that's higher than this, okay? These are the fundamentals. There's nothing higher than this, okay? So as you see it right here, foundation, okay? Now when you go into, that's the 1300s, when you go into, I want to get some right here. Military sense, secure ground from which operations proceed, okay? Sporting sense, a starting point, okay? So these are the fundamental, okay? The fundamental script, instructions that you need, okay? From Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But who needs them? The elect, because the whole house of Israel, we know they're not going to get it, okay? They keep coming back into the stead. They didn't get it before, they ain't going to get it now, okay? The spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So when he has said that, that kind of pissed me off because it says, it's more than that. It's more valuable than, your worldly meaning of basic, okay? It's the foundation. It's the starting point, all right? So basic instruction before leaving Earth, and that was mentioned by Killer Priest in that Heavy Mental album, 1998, okay? The foundation to the end, okay? The beginning to the end, all right? Instructions for the elect, and that's all it's for, okay? It's not for the rest of the world. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 17. He have given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, the beginning, the foundation, right? And the element and the operation of the elements, the beginning, the ending, and the midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons, okay? So the Lord gave us within these scriptures the foundation, and like I said, the beginning, the midst, and the ending. So he didn't leave us unequipped. He gave us something to equip us, Lord willing that we be the elect, and it's unto our salvation, okay? So it's more than worldly standard of basic. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13, that's the whole story, okay? That's the whole story. Here now is my final conclusion. Fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and obey his commandments. For this is everyone's duty. Whose duty? The Israelite man, but chiefly the elect, okay? Here are these fundamental scriptures. Here it is, something that you can build instead of what are you going to build within the world? There's nothing in this world to build with, man. The knowledge, wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. So going back into these scriptures here, they're more than just, basic, okay? Yep, let's go to Acts. Acts chapter 5 and 29. This is why this is also quoted. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men, okay? Because within obeying Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, it leads you on to salvation, okay? Not, these worldly philosophies and stuff, they all come to an end, okay? Look at Egypt, look at Pharaoh, you know what I mean? Look at all these different societies that rose and took a L. And the Lord showed us from the beginning, the midst, and the end. And in the end here, Esau's the end and Jacob's the beginning that followeth. So these instructions that we're, being guided by is the best out of the whole world. Anybody can say whatever they want. Like the Lord said, there is no counsel, no wisdom against the Most High. His instruction is the best, okay? So these fundamental scriptures here lead you on to salvation. They're precious. They're more than the worldly standard of basic, okay? Which when you go back into the root word, like I said, it's going into base, okay? That starting point. Yo, let's get this real quick. As a matter of fact, let me just put on do not disturb, man, because I'm fucking trying to make a video and then stupid people, yeah. Don't leave me the fuck alone. Psalms 147 and verse 19. He has revealed his word to Jacob, his decrees and regulations to Israel. He has not done this for any other nation. They do not know his regulations. Praise Yahweh. It was only given unto us, like I said. And the us, tell you the truth, out of the whole house of Israel, only the elect are going to make it, okay? So that's something that's precious. Out of the whole world, only one nation has this information, okay? As that guy would say, basic instructions before leaving Earth. Only one nation has it, okay? It's so precious. And even out of that, okay, let me get that 1 Samuel. The elect, okay, of the house of Israel has it. The rest were blinded. Blinded by what? The philosophy of this man out here, okay? 1 Samuel chapter 3 and 1. And the child Samuel ministered unto Yahweh before Eli, and the word of Yahweh was precious in those days. There was no open vision, much like now, okay? Much like now, this word is precious. This word is something, the Lord has given this unto us. Okay, there's one nation, this special, commandments, let me actually, it says it right here. It's hard sometimes get tongue twisted, right? But it being very precious unto us, man. The rest of the world, they don't see that. 2/3, they don't see that, okay? And it has value, it has weight to it, okay? It tells you that all the gold and all the silver is to be counted as nothing comparison to her, man. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, right? Because they don't have it, okay? Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is this so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is it so great, that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day. Okay? So this is something precious. The whole world don't have this. These nations are going to look and say, surely this nation is a wise and understanding people. They have God right, Psalms 144 and verse 15. Happy is that people whose power is Yahweh. So this what we have is very precious. It's more than basic. Okay? Yep. Psalms 104. Let me get it. I just quoted it. Let me just get it. Psalms 144 and 15. Happy is that people that's in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose power is Yahweh. Okay? And that's our power. Let me see something real quick. Let me go back here. Deuteronomy. Look, I now teach you these decrees and regulations, just as Yahweh my power commanded me, so that you may obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy. Obey them completely, and you will display your wisdom and intelligence among the surrounding nations. See that? And you will display your wisdom and intelligence around the surrounding nations. When they hear all these decrees, they will examine how wise and prudent are the people of this great nation. For what great nation has a God near unto them as Yahweh our power is near on to us whenever we call on him. Okay? And what nation has decrees and regulations as righteous and fair as this body of instruction that I am giving you today? Whoo! Come on, man. This is why, it's more than, but today's worldly standards of that word basic is more than that. Okay? Psalms 144 and verse 15. Yes, joyfully are those who live like this. Joyfully indeed are those whose power is Yahweh. Anyways, let me get into KJV. Happy is that people that's in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose power is Yahweh. Okay? And that's our power. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. This is why Baruch tells us this. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endures forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai are made known unto us. Right? Not no other nation. Okay? So what we have here is more than basic. Alright? Is completely precious. Okay? The top, the pinnacle. Can't get no higher. Alright? So when he was saying basic instruction, he was going by that worldly standards of saying it, right? But it's more than that, man. It's the foundation. It's the starting point. It's the best, okay? And it's the instructions for who? For the elect. Right now, in this time, yes, it's for the whole house of Israel, but they're not going to listen. The only ones that are going to listen is his elect, his chosen. Okay? So with that, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all our Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified, Lord willing, to the next time. Abad Babam. Shalom.